Today on Discovering Katy, Texas, we are going to talk to the owners of Strong Style Martial Arts, a youth development program here in Katy, Texas. Let's check them out. Okay, so Rich, why don't you tell us about your background with MMA? How did you get started in this world?
Yeah, for sure. So actually, I started at a really young age. I was 9 years old. I got into wrestling. At 10 years old, I was introduced into boxing and judo. And those three things really kind of set my life on a different track. And then I had my first fight, like real MMA fight, at 17.
It seems like it's a really good solid foundation, really, for any sport that somebody could go into. And not just from a physical perspective, but also from that mental perspective that you were talking about, right? Because you realize that part of the battle in your head is you fighting yourself.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of self-confidence because you come in the mats here and you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose every day, especially in the beginning. Like, you're gonna humble yourself.
Yeah.
But what it makes you do, especially for other sports, is you learn a drive and you learn discipline. And the only way to get better in this sport is to walk through the doors and to keep coming in and to keep training and to keep getting better. Here, you learn how to work with other people. You learn how to be humble. You learn how to be disciplined. And then so when you go out to these other sports, you take it in really, really well.
Yeah.
Plus, for a parent, what I always like to add this little part for parents. If you think about your young child, your daughter, your son, as they grow, think about them in a tough situation where there's like a bully or someone who's threatening them, because it's going to happen. It's happened to everybody. The ability to shoot a basketball, throw a football, hit a baseball is great, but that's not going to save them in that time, right?
Sure.
So you want to give them something that not only instills values in them, but also, listen, if it comes down to it, can they protect themselves? And none of the other sports in the world help you do that.
Okay, so are you from Katy? Did you grow up here? How long have you been here for?
I'm not from Katy at all, but Katy has welcomed me with open arms. I love being here. I grew up in New Orleans, so I was born here in Houston. Quickly got to New Orleans as a little kid. Got some great food, but got back here as soon as I could. And almost 10 years ago, I was training at a facility. It's about 8 years ago now. Training at this awesome facility called Gold Team here in Houston. And there's a legendary coach named Makako, who he invited me to come in and work with his young fighters, which was just an honor for me. Like, I was like, really, me? Okay, sure, I'd love to do this. And I go there and I train. And there was this beautiful woman running around the mats, and she just completely had no interest in me at all. And so like, she's running around the mats doing her thing. She was just there to train. And so after some hits and misses and tries, we finally connected and got together. And we actually had a sparring session together where she basically beat me up, and I was like, wow, she's awesome. This is great. And so that is my wife, Samantha, who is the head coach here at Strong Style, Katy. And she is from Katy. She's lived here in Katy for a while now, like over a decade now. And we met, and I was like, well, I guess I'm moving to Katy, because she's like, all my friends, my family, my church is here in Katy. I'm like, all right, I'm moving. So I moved out to Katy roughly about 8 years ago.
And so this location you recently opened here in Katy.
Right.
Okay. And that was just over the summer here of 2022.
Samantha, my wife, wanted to really focus on kids in Katy. And so she's had this desire in her heart and in her mind for the last few years to have a youth development center. And with that, we want to be able to take kids from 5 years old and up and work with them on how to become great leaders. We're not really interested in making just great martial artists. We don't want you to be just a good kid who can kick and punch, and we want you to become a great leader for life.
Sure.
So we instill a lot of values in them. So she had this awesome idea, and we kind of kicked it around for a while. And she finally found a location one day, and she's like, I found a location directly across from my high school. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go check it out. And yeah, it's perfect. I mean, we're right across from my high school. We have an elementary next to us. So the focus of what we wanted the facility to be is right here in front of us, almost like a daily reminder. Like we see these kids and we know that, hey, that's who we want to help.
Sure.
So that's why you see Strong Style Martial Arts Youth Development Center.
So why don't you talk a little bit about what classes you offer here
Yeah.
for the kids, and then also you have some you have the after school programs, you have some parents' night out programs, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So our basis of what we teach kickboxing, we teach Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and we teach wrestling. And so that's our core classes of what we do. And then our after school program actually is starting up right now. And so what we'll do is we'll pick up your kid from the school, bring them back here to the facility. There's some time for them to work on a little bit of homework stuff if they need to make sure that's taken care of. But then we're taking care of them. Like we're making sure that they're getting some exercise, they're having some fun. They're gonna come here, they're gonna be with friends, they're gonna make some teammates, they're gonna make some lifelong connections.
Sure, yeah.
Come in and train and learn some cool stuff every day.
So there is a local organization that you're involved in, and there's also a project that you're going to be starting. Let's talk about those.
Yeah, so here, we love our KDPD and our police officers, LEO, first responders. And so a few years ago, we got involved with a program called Adopt a Cop BJJ. And what that is they teach the cops from white belt to blue belt, they help them with their tuition. So we already offer a reduced membership for police officers or anyone involved in LEO or first responders. And then Adopt a Cop, as long as that cop is coming in and they're training and they're posting about them on Instagram, tagging them in social media and stuff, they will actually reimburse them a certain dollar amount for their training. So for a lot of cops, because of what we charge them already, it almost costs them nothing to be able to come in and train. And then we have our Strong for Life. So Strong for Life is a nonprofit that we are just now getting together, so it should be ready to go here pretty soon. And basically what we want to do is we want to be able to provide tuition reimbursement for when they go to school. We want to be able to provide the ability to come and train, make friends, and learn some awesome experiences at no cost for their families.
So now everybody has heard all about what you guys are offering here. How do they find you?
Yeah, the easiest way is to go to strongstylemartialarts.com. There's 2 links there where you'll see Katy or Richmond. Click one of those. But you're also right there, you can hit a contact us link, send us your information, and we'll reach out to you and give you all the information for the facility.
And you're located just across the street from
Taylor
Taylor High School.
We're super lucky. So the Katy location is right across here from James E. Taylor High School, and Nottingham Elementary is right down the street from us.
If you're in Katy and you have kids, you've got to check out Strong Style. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
This Community Spotlight was brought to you by your Houston agent, Erica Stetenroth, and was produced and edited by JJ Productions.